welcome to the Vergecast for the week of December 16th, 2013. Woo! I'm Josh Topolsky.
I'm Dieter Bone.
I'm Ross Miller.
And we are a Motley Crew.
A little bit.
We're a Motley Crew. We are listening to Motley Crew as well.
Yeah.
One of my favorite bands.
I was listening to Megadeth yesterday.
Were you?
True story.
Countdown to Extinction?
Sweating Bullets.
Okay.
Yeah.
How was it? Great. Are you a Megadeth fan?
I was.
Really?
Yeah. And
are you getting back into it?
It was in my head, and I listened to it, and that's that.
How did Megadeth end up in your head?
I don't know. Sweating Bullets was in my head, and I watched the video, and the video was terrible.
Yeah.
What year is that from? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah. He looks like such a little tiny man, and the anger that I visualized in my head listening to it as a 13-year-old compared to like what he actually looks like.
Yeah.
Doesn't fit at all.
You should read his book.
Really?
Yeah, he's got a tell-all. I can't think of the name of it now. Laura read it, and apparently it's hilarious.
Is this like the usual 80s rock star tell-all?
Kind of, yeah.
He
talks about like wearing like the sneakers that he wore and how like ahead of the curve like in fashion he was. And anyhow, you're gonna come up with you're gonna get the title.
Is it Mustaine, a heavy metal memoir?
I believe so.
Wow,
who else would produce that document? Anyhow, this is the Vergecast where we discuss the week in Megadeth news and Dave Mustaine happenings. And it's actually like a really slow week in Vergecast style news.
It's absolutely
because everybody is beginning to retire for the holidays.
We're about to
retire to a holiday party, a Vox Media. I'm not going to tell you where or when it's happening, but I can tell you it is happening this evening.
Except you just said.
So I just told you after this. So anyhow, everybody's like looking really dapper. Except I forgot that there was a party and everybody's like in suits. I'm like, well, is everybody wearing suits? And then I realized
we had a long discussion about whether or not we should all wear ties to this.
Mm-hmm.
I said
I
no.
see you guys said no to the tie discussion.
I'm debating.
I could get a tie going here. That would be enough, I think, as long as nobody looked at me from below the waist.
Because you're not wearing pants.
I have pants on.
Okay.
But anyhow, so what are the stories of the week? I mean, obviously, should we talk about the elephant in the room?
This elephant? Or
well, I don't know.
I
don't know. What would you like to talk about first?
We got to talk about this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the Mac. This is the Mac Pro.
Yes.
Have you seen this thing? Have you heard about it? It's the Mac Pro. Can you give it to me? This is where we drop the Mac.
11 pounds, by the way.
This is where we
so
drop the Mac Pro. You don't really have the reach for it, do you?
No, yeah, I do.
Yeah, let's just
bring it over here.
Get away from the
oh, really?
beer.
No, don't slide it onto this ad.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, you can hold it like a GameCube too.
There you
Just
go.
like there's
Oh,
a
it's
handle.
warm. Oh, it's probably just on.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
Right. Video team's been using it nonstop.
It is actually surprisingly heavy, it's a beautiful looking. It does look kind of like a humidifier. You know what I mean? It does look like something.
Everybody's going with trash can.
Humidifier's pretty nice,
or
though.
vacuum, or a humidifier. Can you see? Here's the back panel. Here you got some connectors, some ports there, some connections. It's beautiful. It's wonderful.
We should open it up.
It's the nicest looking. I don't know how do you open
So
it?
There's
set it
just
down.
one button right
Set
there.
it down. And then flick
Like
this.
that?
There's a switch.
This
right
one here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Slide that to unlocked, and then it makes this noise. Just lift up the
right, so-
top.
I wouldn't say it made that a shoop noise.
Yeah.
Here it is. Here's where the RAM. Wait, actually, these are. What are these? Is this RAM? It must be. I sound like an idiot. What? Move my glass? Sure. Of course I will.
So the RAM's over here on this side.
So what is this? Are these the SSDs?
Yes, the RAM.
Oh, okay. That's what those are, I think. So those are that's RAM. It's on both sides.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or did I just go? Did I go 360 degrees?
The worst part is we don't know if you're referencing the thing that you're pointing at the camera or us or what.
Well, it doesn't matter.
There's pieces arranged in a
Stopping
triangle.
here. Anyhow,
around a
let's just
heat
say
sink.
it's not very upgradable.
No.
This is it. But the idea for this is that it's upgradable externally. The way Apple's thinking about this is that they've created these amazing, super fast connectors like Thunderbolt. Is this Thunderbolt 2? Do I just push this down?
Is it?
Is it aligned?
Yes.
I mean, maybe.
The ports?
Yeah, I mean, sort of.
Okay.
This is where I break the Mac Pro on live internet.
That would be great.
I mean, it's not. Should I?
What could possibly go wrong?
Wait,
It is Thunderbolt 2.
Is it on? Maybe it's just on now.
It's not plugged in.
No, it's. I mean, it's on? I didn't realize it. I was like trying to push it down further. I definitely want to be doing this as much as possible. That's gifable. Anyhow, it's a beautiful, beautiful piece of machinery.
And a fingerprint magnet.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but
look
you're
at
not.
that.
But you don't touch your desktop.
Well, but like you still get dust all
Don't
over.
tell me
You're
what to
gonna see
do.
it.
You don't. Hey, you don't touch your desktop. No, you're not going to
That's how
be.
you go blind.
You're not going to be laying hands on it. You put it down, you plug it in, and then you go.
Yeah.
You attack new vistas of entertainment and creativity, and whatever else this lets you attack. That's all I have to say about it. So anyhow, we're going to have a review of this soon.
And there's already a hands-on, some first impressions.
We have some first
right
impressions
now.
of it up and some hands-on photos, and you can be sure. I was actually talking about this with our team, but I can't think of a better group of people to be road testing this than everybody here in the studio.
Oh, yeah.
And so our editors and our everybody on the video team at Vox and Verge are going to put this through its paces.
Right. I've already seen a bunch of the Verge video people just kind of come up and put their projects on it, see how fast they'll export, and
Yeah.
it's so far it's really impressive.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh boy. I don't have any need for. I don't have a need for this at all. But like as usual with a new product, I want it for no reason, and I don't think I'm going to buy one because a desktop computer just seems like completely insane to me.
Well, here's the thing that kills me about this is that there is no Apple first-party 4K display to really show off like how pretty
Yeah.
the output is.
Yeah.
Right.
Like they gave us what they're selling in the online store is a Sharp display.
Well, they
And
probably
they're
didn't
selling it
want
in
to.
Apple Store. Right?
Oh, is it-
and the online store.
Yeah.
Apple
in the online
selling
store,
it.
yeah.
Well, they probably didn't want. They probably didn't want to. They didn't want to. They needed time to focus on their TV. They probably didn't want to put out a display that's separate from the Apple television.
which is obviously coming very, very soon.
I mean, it's probably at this point they're probably just like, let's just do it so the Gene Monster will stop talking about it, right? They're like, you know what? At this point, it's just get it out there. Who cares if people buy it or not?
Yeah.
We're Apple. We mint money. So anyhow, so this is exciting-ish. I don't get that excited about desktop computers. I will openly admit.
I will say this is very pretty. I do appreciate how slick this design is and how small it is for all that it actually does. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It is small.
Be damned.
It is small. Nowhere to put a DVD
That's
or
true.
a Blu-ray.
Just
It'd be
like
cool if this was a
pop it up the
slot.
top, yeah.
It feels like this could have been an actual, like if you look at it, if you look at this, I mean, it really does seem like they could have put a, there, hold on,
That's
you can
what
get a little bit of
the
the
fan
glare.
comes out. Oh, nice.
That would have been cool. They should have like exposed. You see the discs minute?
Yeah.
I definitely almost just dropped this one a second ago. It's really heavy. I mean, not surprisingly, but it's very heavy.
Very packed.
So this thing, this laptop,
Yes,
changed
Mac-
the industry.
MacBook Air.
Right.
Yes.
Everybody was copying it.
Changed everything.
Do you think that other people are going to be copying this?
I think HP is definitely going to copy it immediately. I think people are going to copy it because that's what people do. They copy. They copy everything.
All right.
I would be very surprised if somebody didn't copy
And to
it.
be fair, like for desktops, this is novel, but obviously when this first came out, everyone said this is the Braun KF20 coffee machine. This is not a unique industrial design.
Well, this is clearly
Right.
a homage to the Dieter Rams designed Braun coffee machine. I would be very surprised. And I don't remember if there is a story that Steve Jobs and Johnny Ive bonded over this
Over
coffee
Dieter Rams?
machine. I don't know if it's the KF20 or a different model. Can somebody do a quick search and tell me that what it is I'm thinking of? Maybe the model number was not even mentioned. I want to say it was the KF20. Does anybody know?
I'm looking for something that isn't.
if you know, if you're
sourced
out
at,
there in cyberspace
Johnny Ive's secret coffee ritual.
and really
No,
you
not-
know what I'm talking about, feel free to tweet. Feel free to tweet towards us at Verge,
Yeah, we'll keep an eye out for that.
or Joshua Topolsky is fine as well.
Remember
or you could
when
do
we-
Backlon or Ono Roscoe.
Man,
What?
I'm not going to name the site, but do you remember in the early 2000s when we defeated pop-up ads? Remember when that happened? When like pop-up ads were a thing, and then we figured out we got it to stop.
What do you mean pop-up ads?
Like we open a new browser window would pop up, and you'd have an ad in it. You'd have to
Every
close
site
it.
does that.
They do it now again,
Yeah.
but they just do it inside the site. And
Right.
there was a brief period from 2008 to 2010 where pop-up ads were gone, and we've regressed.
It's a golden era.
This site, which I will not name, gave
I
me
know what
pop-up.
site you're looking at right now.
Yes.
I could name them. I'm not going to. Okay, so anyhow, Mac Pro, that's a story. There's nothing to really say about it right now because we're obviously in testing mode. We're not testing it right this second, but we will be in testing mode for the foreseeable future
Right.
to deliver a review to you, the reader or viewer. What else is in the news? God, I'm tired. What else is in the news?
You want to just go ahead and talk about the Google robot stuff?
Yeah.
Yes. Let's jump right into
So
that.
Google, go ahead.
No, you go
No, you
ahead.
lead. No, you lead it.
So Google bought Boston Dynamics, which makes the scariest freaking robots that you have ever seen.
Yeah.
We actually have
And
a bunch of the footage
There.
too.
Oh God, make it stop. I mean, this is like. Can you imagine anything more terrifying running towards you or even away from you? Like, what is this thing supposed to be? I mean, is this designed to give people heart attacks? Is that the point of this robot?
It's just
It's awful and also wonderful. Do we have any other Boston
Yeah.
We
Dynamics?
have a couple.
So, by the way, 17 miles, 18 miles an hour. Do you know how fast that is?
No, it actually goes up to
Oh my God.
28.
Oh my God.
So 25.7 inches Usain Bolt's record. So this
Really?
thing will outrun.
Yeah, but it has to be stabilized with that arm.
True.
right.
Oh my God.
So if we can
Why?
show the next one, show like a wildcat. I actually want to hear the audio for this because it's the scariest buzzing sound ever.
Can we see the wildcat?
Hold on.
Oh, this poor guy.
Of this thing right here.
Here it comes.
Oh god.
Oh God.
That when it stabilizes itself, and then now I'm ready.
Oh yeah.
And
So
now it just goes.
Oh
oh my
God.
god, it looks happy. It has a personality. That's definitely killer.
Wait. I think he's going in the wrong direction.
No,
Is
I
that the
think
direction
he's-
he
I
goes?
think maybe
But
he's
here's the thing.
backing
It
up.
looks like an actual animal there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys remember? like-
Uncanny. That is
Well,
so
Google
uncanny
played that up.
valley.
Like, we've added some robots to our menagerie.
Yeah.
Oh my god. This reminds me like that robot at the end of Fahrenheit 451 that's chasing down everybody.
Hey,
Like,
spoiler alert. This makes me
near
really
the
sad.
end.
Can I just say this makes me sad? Like, I feel like it's an animal, like a kind of an injured animal because it's moving so weirdly. Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm going to start crying. I feel bad for that robot. Why is that?
Until it starts pointing like needles at me. I think.
Yeah.
Oh. Wait. So I think
poor.
this is the part where like it falls and picks itself back up.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Don't fall.
You can do it, little camper.
Don't fall, buddy.
Nope. We're just getting slow motion.
Okay, great. What else
But,
do we have?
The last.
So, well, no, but hang on. So,
yeah.
Andy Rubin, he left Android. He's
Yes.
going to make actual robots now.
Yes.
They bought Boston Dynamics. They bought a bunch of other companies.
Oh.
What are they building? Like, Adrian wrote a great report for us and talked to a bunch of people, and like, nobody's really sure.
Right.
The one thing I will say is there's a really
God.
interesting parallel
Make it
between
stop.
Metal Gear.
Oh my God.
Make it stop, please. This is the worst. So rude.
Why did he kick the guy?
Because he's showing how he stabilizes himself.
Wait,
Which
wait.
is insane and looks like a real
don't
animal.
kick that. It will kick
Wow.
back.
Yeah.
But there's a parallel between what Google did with driverless cars
Yeah. Mhm.
and what's happening here. So DARPA starts funding a whole bunch of stuff, a whole bunch of companies do DARPA challenges and
Right.
making, war machines or whatever. And then it becomes privatized at Google. They did it with
Right.
driverless cars, and now
Right.
they're doing it again with robots.
You think Google's just trying to stop the government from developing crazy technology?
I don't know.
I don't think that's the
I
case.
don't think so.
I don't know if it.
I
Google
think
does it. Oh
I
my
think
God.
my guess would be they don't know what they're making yet. I mean, they must have
No,
some
they've gotta have
ideas.
a plan.
Okay, let's think of things that Google could make with robots.
Robots.
Well, I mean, what type of things that they would
Package
use?
delivery.
Sorry,
How would they
I'm sorry. The
commercialize
things
it?
they would use
Right.
robots for is what I mean. What is something that Google might do with a robot?
Google Maps Street View. Like, where can a human not go?
Okay, yeah, robots walking around getting street view. Okay, that seems like they deploy some robots for that.
How about somebody at the California Polytech said social robots that can help you inside your house?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That's great.
Haley Joel Osment. Yeah.
No, I was
don't
thinking
think.
Rosie.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I
the
think
Rivet- or
we're
not
thinking,
Rivet,
or we're thinking maybe
Jetsons, yeah.
maybe robots for the elderly or people who are disabled in some way. That's a good, might be a good use of the
Yeah.
robots. I assume in factories and assembly lines there might be some reason to have
Right.
more autonomous robots.
But why is Google in that game?
Yeah.
Well, maybe Google wants to make things in a factory,
Yeah.
like phones,
There you go.
Like more glass
like
headsets.
more robots. Maybe they want to make more robots.
Robots that make robots.
Yeah, exactly. What are some other things Google might do with a robot? What kind of businesses is Google in? Advertising?
Sex bots.
No, they're not in that business.
Well, we don't know what Andy Rubin's doing.
So
He's been holed up for a long time.
Oh, geez. Oh, boy. Oh, no. Here we go.
Oh, this
again.
is one too? Oh my god.
Like, hey, we made a huge cockroach. How do you feel about this?
So Google's going to space.
This is like a baby. It's like a baby robot crawling.
No, mark my words. This is the kind of thing that will Street View map the moon after Google buys a rocket company.
Well, that's okay. There you go. Maybe they want to have space explorer robots.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they want to send robots into space. But why? What does Google get out of it? Is that a business for them?
What is Google? I mean,
What is a Google?
What about robots that
Yeah.
walk around with ads on them? Robots that have those boards that stand outside of businesses with the boards, like 2 for 1,
Yeah.
and hand out flyers.
Yeah, I mean,
It's an advertising.
The guy
Get
that
it?
holds the
It's
subway sign is going to lose his job.
It's an
over this.
ad. It's an ad robot. Okay.
all of Google's weird crap that they do, Loon and I don't know,
Yeah.
everything makes sense to me. Is like, oh well, yeah, you care about internet,
Right.
Except driverless cars, I'm not really clear on why, other than maybe it's a huge investment opportunity. And this,
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, maybe the next smartphone is a helper robot.
I think there's some element of just blind hope because I think everyone's gonna say robots at some point. Robotics are going to be the next big technological
Well, I mean,
step,
this
even
is,
if you don't know how to commercialize
this
it exactly.
This stuff is now, right? I mean,
Right.
imagine in 5 or 10 years if they really accelerate this stuff. I mean, I think that, and maybe by the way, that is Siri. The next evolution of Siri and your smartphone is is an assistant that walks around with you, like an actual physical thing that walks around with you, and it's does things physically for you.
This could definitely set up a sequel to Her, a new Spike Jonze film. First
Sure.
we have just the artificial intelligence, and now we have the walking.
Well, he went in the direction that he went in was that we're instead of having these physical physical presences, we're going to have virtual presences that we sort of imagine.
well, now we can have a super sex bot that can climb rocks.
I don't know. I don't think they're going to make a sex bot.
no,
I mean, here's the problem. They have a long way to go to making human shaped
Right.
bots, right?
that
Well,
are actually able to get around.
That's
And
the.
They're not making human size and human shaped bots. They are making disgusting, weird, horrendous, horrific animal bots.
So sex bots.
And we're back.
Oh God. No. Okay. Just seriously, do you have any guesses?
I don't.
No.
I don't. I really genuinely don't know. I don't know. My imagination isn't big enough. The only guess that I have is
Oh my God.
that they are
Oh, this-
they have a
this
specific plan.
This-
this isn't just a lark.
No
let's
way.
buy a bunch of robots.
No way. Is it going to make it all the way up there? No
Oh
way.
yeah, no, this is
Yeah, it does.
amazing.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So that's Amazon delivery right there.
There you go.
No, it's when I think of the first thing I think of this is helping fight fires or rescue
Sure.
situations.
Yeah.
But that's not Google's business.
Well, not yet.
That's a public utility.
Not yet. I mean,
I think we
they
need
start
to,
selling this stuff to the government.
That's true.
So yeah,
And it's
Down.
going to be just fine.
totally fine. What is this thing? This is like a sentry bot.
I think that what do they call it?
Sand flea is what they
Right.
call this. What's he going to do here?
You know what he's going to do. You just don't want to believe.
What's he going to do? No way. No way.
Oh, there we go.
I could watch these all day. I have to say, it is unbelievable. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. I think Google does invest in a lot of things that are just
Right.
they're just experimenting, and they don't.
Yeah.
They maybe don't have the answer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's
Yeah, but
clear.
do you think Andy Rubin is just doing this for the hell of it? I feel like he has a goal.
I mean,
What do you think it is?
I don't know. That's why.
What do
I'm
we know?
freaking
What do
out
we know
it.
about Andy Rubin?
that his personal goal was just to play with robots. That was his hobby.
Right.
That's his
Yeah.
dream.
Right.
But did he have a step 2? I mean, what is the step 2 monetization or actualization of some other
Oh,
concept?
I think they're pursuing a specific robotic
God,
goal to be able
that
to do
is
something
just-
new.
Now, is this standing on its own?
I think.
Yeah,
At least
I
that's the
believe it
goal.
is.
Yeah. God.
If that's true, that's insane. Hey, buddy. I mean, I guess we're starting to see.
Hey, it's sober too. Look at that.
Well, or it's whoa. So that's
They're-
finally that's something that no human can.
They're really into abusing robots. That's the thing we know about
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for him to realize what
Boston
we're doing. to him.
Dynamics. I mean, maybe RoboCop is not as far off as we think. Maybe Google will deploy sentry bots and protector bots and cop bots.
Well, that's
cop bots.
the idea of prosthetics though. Imagine if this technology went into someone's prosthetic leg and could
Yeah.
actually you could control it in a much better way.
You probably put a gun on it too.
You could also put a
Kind of
gun, a little gun carry. In
Yeah,
there.
exactly. Those pops out.
And it's controlled with Google Glass.
Yeah, exactly. All right, what else is in the news? What else is happening? We have no answers on the. I just like to say that we officially have zero answers at this point. Oh yeah, this one's great. Yeah. Like, hey, you made a robot that looks exactly like the most horrific thing that I've ever thought of. Like no.
It's Iron Man.
Put the suit back on him. Because what I want to do is I want to picture that thing walk. Yeah, I want to picture that guy with the full face mask.
Yep.
Oh, don't do that.
This is quarantine war zone right here.
Yeah. Like, well, hey, why does the bot need a gas mask?
Yeah, that.
I'm sorry. Did you engineer the robot actually dies if it breathes in dangerous gases? What is the gas mask for? Just to scare me, I think is the answer.
Right.
This seriously is upsetting.
But I mean, and part of it is also how many big tech companies are looking at wearables and robotics right now. I think pretty much all of them in some extent. This is just.
I mean, this is a little beyond.
Public.
This is beyond.
This is a little beyond. Okay, that's fair.
So this is now Andy Rubin is going to get to do whatever he wants with this thing. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Cool. That's really encouraging.
Bigger than a moonshot.
All right. What else? What else?
So Tim Cook, Marissa Mayer, Reed Hastings, Eric Schmidt. And
Zynga CEO.
What about
Pincus,
one of these
Mark
things
Pincus
is not like the other.
Went to meet with Obama to talk. He wanted him to.
He get Zuckerberg
advice on. I think Zuck. Yeah.
No.
They wanted advice on healthcare.gov, and they showed up. And they're like, "Yeah, we'd like to talk about the NSA."
I think it was awkward. You think it was awkward?
I'm pretty sure it was very awkward.
No, but do you think it was awkward with
Mark
Zuckerberg
Pincus
and Pincus in the room? No, that's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And so Pincus apparently asked Obama or suggested to Obama that he pardon Edward Snowden.
Because we're going to pardon Snowden based on Mark Pincus's recommendation.
But you never know, man. Obama said he couldn't do that.
Yeah.
And then had him removed.
It's like nobody asked him before.
Can't he? He is president.
I think he meant. I think what he meant. Let me explain, Dieter. Okay. I think he meant that there were reasons that he would not do it.
Yeah.
Not that he physically or like technically.
I'm having flashbacks to my childhood when I asked, "Can I?" And they, "No, you mean may I?"
Well, at any rate, yeah.
Which is probably exactly how that conversation went.
I think. Wait, that's Sheryl Sandberg.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it was her instead of Zuck.
What is Pincus doing at this table? It's a little odd.
It's really odd.
I don't see Zuck. There's no Zuck there.
Yeah, it's
it must
Sheryl.
be Sheryl,
yeah. This looks like a very uncomfortable conversation. To me, this looks like a horrifically uncomfortable conversation.
Dramatically zooming in.
Is this the moment right here where Pincus says, "Why don't you pardon?" He's like, "Hey, I was down here at the end of the table drinking, and I just thought, why not pardon?" Anyhow, here's the question. I mean, increasingly, speaking of Snowden, it looks like people are saying, "Hey, what Snowden did is not in the wrong."
Yeah. So what's the Obama's panel recommended that the NSA doesn't keep phone records?
Well, there's that.
Right.
There was a federal judge found that. What was the term that he used? And we have a story on this. If only we had it pulled up.
Well, he's looking up. I mean, one thing that's interesting as you get into that, TC just pointed out that was right next to Obama. At his left side was Randall Stevenson of AT&T.
Oh, yeah.
Which is
perfect.
Eerily appropriate.
His left side or his right side? It was his left side.
Yeah,
Biden on the right.
Biden was on the right.
One is clearly more powerful than the other.
One is sneakier. One is sneakier than the other. But yeah, anyhow, the Snowden stuff. I mean, I think everybody's a little fatigued at this point.
Yeah.
Like the level of stuff that we're hearing, the level of privacy violations, but also just the story, Edward Snowden's story. It's like you can kind of only. Here you go. That their phone record collection is unconstitutional.
Yeah, I'm looking for the judge was super harsh on them. I'm looking for like a quotable quote, but candor. Yeah.
I mean, let's just be clear. That's not small potatoes. We now have federal judges saying this what the NSA has been doing is unconstitutional.
Well, the line that the NSA likes to give is that collection is different from spying because we're taking it, we're collecting it, but we're not doing anything with it, so it's okay.
Yeah.
And I don't think a single person outside of that giant creepy black cube of a building where the NSA is believes that.
Yeah, I think it's hard to. I woke up the other day and I thought, I'm like, man, what if it just went away? What if the NSA was like, we're not going to do this anymore, and we could just go back to living a normal life where we didn't have to think about this?
I mean, they can say it.
They can say it. I mean, I'm saying, what if they actually did it? It's almost impossible now to imagine a reality where you're not basically being spied on 24/7. Right. And I don't know if that's because, I mean, look, you could get off of the internet right? You could stop using the internet, essentially. I don't know what your life would be
we
like.
had someone try that.
No, well, and he succeeded.
To various degree, like, so still
He survived. He survived.
Affected him implicitly.
Yeah, but he wasn't. But he wasn't sending emails. He wasn't
True.
making. He wasn't talking to people on.
But when he was asking questions and he was getting answers from people who were connected. Like there at no
Yeah,
point.
but I'm saying that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
You got to go off the grid, man. Get Paul Miller style. Just get information from people around you.
This is the judge who was appointed by Bush, by the way. I cannot imagine a more indiscriminate and arbitrary invasion, those are both quotes from the law, than this systemic and high-tech collection and retention of personal data.
Wow.
Of course, the public has no interest in saving the government from the burdens of complying with the Constitution.
Yeah.
Just rips into them.
Eviscerated, I would say. It is, there's look, Obama's talking to tech people are writing letters, federal judges are saying this is unconstitutional. Is there any indication that any of this is actually going to stop?
I don't know.
No,
the NSA I feel like the NSA could literally be like, yeah, we're going to stop
something
and then just keep doing it.
But it has to come at this point. It's going to have to come out of Congress, and that nothing's happening there for a while.
What do we think about the BIOS plot?
The 60 Minutes.
60 Minutes. This is a great 60 Minutes report on.
It felt like a South Park episode. Like it was a very weird. Like, there's an attack. It destroys your BIOS. But your BIOS is alive, so your computer's alive.
Right.
But I didn't.
The BIOS plot.
It's the BIOS plot. Let's just throw an acronym that scares.
Here's
people.
the thing that I don't fully get. The 60 Minutes. They suggested that the people, the nation state behind the attack was China.
Yeah.
I don't get China disabling everybody's computer in America unless it's to launch World War III, because we are China's biggest consumer. They need us for their economy.
Yeah,
there's really no disconnecting these things at this point. Mm-hmm. China needs America to keep buying Chinese things, and they need to continue to take on American debt. And they need to continue to buy up things that exist in America. Right. And so the idea that they would want to bring down America by destroying everybody's computer seems, pretty funny. Also, there are plenty of computers that don't have, I don't know if they meant not all computers are the same, basically. I don't know if there was a specific type of computer they're talking about. They made it sound like it was just a blanket, all BIOS everywhere was affected.
The idea that there can be a virus that can blow up your BIOS and the thing that makes your computer boot is not new or fresh.
Right.
And so, if it's theoretically possible that China has developed a thing to blow up a whole lot of BIOSes and a whole lot of computers. But one, they wouldn't do that. Two, why is the NSA trotting this thing out that we kind of already know about and isn't that likely of a threat?
FUD.
Exactly.
Because the NSA wants us to be scared, because the NSA derives their power from the fear of the American citizenry feeling like they need to do, the NSA needs to do whatever the NSA wants to do to protect us from some kind of phantom attack. And last year it was terrorism, and now it's the Chinese want to destroy our computers. And there's always going to be a new enemy for America. That seems pretty clear. It's just a matter of there's lulls in between where we toy with several enemies.
It's just so surprising to me that as sophisticated as this system is supposed to be, they did not invest anywhere near as much money into figuring out how to defend this should it ever come out in public.
Right.
They're completely surprised and caught off
you've
guard
seen the PowerPoints. These aren't. I don't
smiley faces on them, for God's
sake.
sakes.
I don't think that there's a lot of deep thought going into what they're doing. I actually don't. I don't think they're my God, we're taking all of these private phone records. This is a constitutional violation. I think they're just hey, we can do this. Let's just do it.
Yeah.
And not think about what the consequences are and not think about what the ramifications are, because they just are on a mission, Their mission is to collect information.
No, they think about the consequences and ramifications. They think about it very carefully. They think about where is the line and how can we push it and how can we use the language of the current law, most of which is very much outdated, in order to push it.
Right.
But I don't feel like they've gone to great lengths they've been sneaky in the sense that people don't have access to their internal documents, but it doesn't seem like they've gone to great lengths to cover this up or defend it. You know what I mean? Like it's not. They don't have great answers. You know,
Well,
their answers
I mean,
are vague.
You know, they lied to Congress. I'd call that going to great lengths to defend it.
I mean, I'd call it sloppy.
Yeah.
I'd call it sloppy. If they actually went to great lengths, they'd say, "Listen, here's the structure of the law. We've abided by it at every step of the way. Like this is what the law allows, and this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
And there would be no necessity to lie because you could demonstrate that your methods were sound."
Right.
They do that, but they do it in such a fuzzy way, and there's so little evidence of benefit to us as citizens
Right.
that they trot out, we've defended you against so many attacks, and then you look at that number, and then it's actually a smaller number when you really dig into it, and then it's smaller on top of that when you dig in more. So something needs. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of companies, and a lot of countries, and a lot of Americans that like want this to turn around right now.
Yeah.
And it hasn't yet. And I got straight up like the next way to fix this is to vote different people into Congress so that they will do it for us.
Right.
Well,
That's where we're at.
That may or may not solve it. I mean, like, and the thing is, like, that's one of like 3 steps that must happen in an exact order.
Well, if it's possible more federal judges will start overturning stuff and change things, but I don't have a lot of confidence there either.
Right.
So then what? What are we going to do? Just always be spied on?
Pull a Paul Miller, go offline.
I mean, is there any alternative to like? I mean, there is no real protection.
Right.
Like, there is no real way to protect.
And let's not forget, like,
data.
this, we may be the most sophisticated country doing this. We may not be. We got caught doing it. That's the thing
Right.
that screwed us.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe we just need to accept that it's all just going to be out there, and people are going to be reading your stuff, and just try not to break the law, basically.
I mean, there
That's
are
a lot
people
of faith.
trying to.
I'm not making that argument, by the way. I think that's insane. I think it's an insane way to live. But that I think that's like how the government would kind of like. I think that's what the NSA would ultimately prefer. If everybody just said, you know what, I won't break the law, and then I don't care if you read my stuff.
Right.
You're just some anonymous person. It's not like you're just checking out your ex-girlfriend's information using the systems that you have at hand. Oh, wait, they were actually doing that. Yeah. So it is like, at the end of the day, it's not a computer. Like, I'm more comfortable with Google with being scroogled. Okay. It's like an algorithm showing me ads because they saw words they saw words that are just basically chunks of data versus, the government, a government that has zero oversight and a horrible track record in terms of what it will tell its citizens and being truthful with its citizens. And I'd much rather have Google's robots, not new robots, but I'd rather have its spiders crawl my shit than have the NSA do it.
Right.
I mean, in both cases, there's an example of like laws and bureaucracy being outpaced by technology. At no point do we think there's a law that was needed at a time when this would have been crucial. For either Google like regulating robots and drones or like regulating the privacy and connections. Like, our laws are wholly outdated for things like that.
Yeah. Well, there's no conception of things like drones and, autonomous robots. And
I think Clay Shirky had a good example. Like, just because the law wasn't ready for the technology doesn't mean we should be afraid of the technology or afraid of the laws. That's always how it's going to be happening. We can't prepare for these things. The other thing I want to promote is TC's big report. He did this great editorial about Obama's legacy and these two not polar opposite, but like seemingly polar opposite issues of like too much red tape and not enough red tape with the healthcare issue and with the NSA.
Yeah, and I think his premise is really interesting. It's
we should take the red tape from healthcare.gov and move it over to the NSA.
I wake up dreaming that Keith Alexander took over healthcare and Kathleen Sebelius took over the NSA.
Yeah, we should put those contractors
swap the chairs
into
NSA. There you
go.
Everyone.
I think there's
they already know your pre-existing conditions.
I think there's a fair amount of buffoonery on both sides, really. I mean, when you look at it.
Oh yeah.
But it is an interesting question.
Speaking of buffoonery,
I mean, Bush's legacy is pretty obvious at this point. You think about like war and the war on terror, basically.
And the
you
absence
think about
of evidence is the evidence of
right,
absence.
of course,
or whatever.
of course. Weapons of mass destruction that were never found, that we were lied to about. What will you start to think like this does seem to be kind of defining factors. I mean, obviously Obamacare, but what overshadows Obamacare is the failure of its launch, like, and then the NSA stuff is clearly, the funny thing is though, I just don't know how much real people care about the NSA spying. Like, my impression is they don't. My impression is they either don't know about it, and if they do know about it, and when they find out about it, they're like, well, I don't really have anything to hide. And I think I think if you went out on the street right now and talked to most people, that's what they would tell you.
And the other thing is like, they would say, I think it's a big deal, but I'm so tired of hearing about it. It's like the flood of information is both necessary and also somewhat like,
Well, even if you could explain it all very clearly in one simple way.
Right.
It's still you can't do anything with the information. You can get angry, but you can't take your anger anywhere. Even if every citizen in America signed a petition saying I won't stand for this, that doesn't mean it will affect any change.
No.
There need to be lobbying groups, there need to be politicians, there need to be judges and lawyers who are invested in this, who are going to go make the changes. And those things do exist. But our government is extremely bureaucratic and slow moving.
Right.
And so the idea that this will be changed anytime in the near future seems impossible. And also, it does kind of feel like Obama, who came in on this like wave of hope and excitement and like, we're going to have a totally different, more transparent government. And we're going to, a guy we really like is in the White House. It turns out it's a very similar government to the one that we've always had, or at least had for the last 40 years.
Is all the news this week this depressing?
It's a downer.
No.
It's downer.
There is one thing that was not depressing,
Hold
but
up.
it may not be exactly Verge related.
What is it?
On Friday, the 13th, Beyonce.
Oh, Beyonce. Have we not talked about Beyonce?
13.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Beyonce released a series of incredible songs, videos.
14 audio, 17 videos.
Never leaked, which is amazing.
Well, we heard, okay,
Okay.
yes and no.
All
This
right.
is me knowing way too much than I should about this.
Uh-oh.
So she has performed one of the songs before live. A few things leaked because a lot of these were filmed in public, a lot of them in New York and East Village too. But no one had any idea this was happening. In fact, the last rumor was that she had completely scrapped the album altogether. But so
Planted, obviously.
very. But from the music business standpoint, this dropped with no promotion.
Yeah.
Full album. You cannot buy a track. Audio and video, everything comes together, and the physical release isn't even coming out to the 20th.
Yeah. And it's like crazy, sold like crazy.
Yeah,
5 million?
800. Well, maybe by now 800,000 in the first 3 days.
Yeah. Why did I
which
get
is the
5 million?
fastest selling iTunes album
I have no
ever.
idea.
Yeah, which is crazy.
It topped Katy Perry and Lady Gaga's sales combined.
Yeah.
Wow.
What's interesting about it is
Where'd I get 5 million?
What's interesting about it is like it goes against all of the. Here's the deal: when you've got enough star power, you can fly in the face of like all of the modern notions about how we should sell and listen to music. Like if you're a mid-level or low-level artist who has, if you're not Beyonce, let's put it that way,
Yeah.
you probably can't get away with doing this. Like you can release your record, your hardcore fans will buy it.
Yeah.
There will be zero hype about it. Nobody will tweet about it. No one will know about it, like a small group of people. And then like your album will be done. You can't get away with it. If you're Beyonce, you can definitely pull this, which is you're the biggest celebrity in the world and you have a surprise record. And so everybody's going to freak out and be curious, and there's going to be an enormous amount of hype. I mean, the whole day following that evening into the next day through the next evening, it was just like bedlam about it was beyond. It's like 2 days straight, maybe 3 days straight of like I felt like everywhere I turned, the only conversation anybody was having was Beyonce.
And this is also this is a weird time because this is after the Grammy nominations have been announced for the year. Like this is post award season for the music
But
industry.
it is pre-holiday shopping season. I mean, this is the time when big albums drop. Like in the music industry, they'll say like if you're going to release a record, you either big enough that you release it around Christmas, or you avoid releasing a record around Christmas because that's when all of the gigantic artists release their
and the
albums.
physical albums come out 4 days before Christmas,
But not at Target.
not at Target. Target is very mad
Target
about this.
boycotted Beyonce because she sold exclusively in iTunes. That's the story, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Which is interesting,
Which was also the opposite of what happened in her last album. Her album 4 was they had a Target exclusive video and packaging and wrapping. Like there was a close relationship, and this just obviously pissed them off to no
Clearly
end.
that relationship is soured.
Yeah.
I mean, I think what's most impressive is that just the level of general secrecy about this. Like you didn't see the music press really writing about it.
No.
You didn't hear, this album's going to leak, or there's rumors there's going to be, and it didn't leak. That's the other thing.
No.
So
That's what amazes me is that doesn't happen much anymore.
yeah.
No.
Well, I mean, Beyonce is very powerful.
Yeah.
She's also married to Jay-Z.
And by the way, that couple has had Jay-Z also had a very interesting experiment with music industry.
Yeah. Samsung. The Samsung album.
It was
What is it? Magna Carta Holy Grail?
Magna Carta Holy Grail.
You forget,
No hype
you forget that
anywhere,
record
anywhere.
happened. But I don't know. I'm not
I liked it.
I'm not a big Jay-Z fan.
Jay-Z
Is that
himself
wrong to say?
ranked it 7th or 8th on his discography.
I agree with him.
yeah.
I'm gonna have to agree with Jay on that one.
Well,
But this Beyonce record, now I frankly have not listened to the whole thing, so I don't want to speak out of turn. But everybody says I've heard a few songs, and they're good. Everybody says it's incredible.
It's very raunchy. Like
She's into making love.
oh yeah, no, it's not.
She's a
it's just-
baby. Proof that she's into making love.
She's like, look, I've had everything else,
Yeah.
and no one's gonna care. So let's just do a song about oral sex.
Well, Trent did. Trent did a Trent
Really good
Wolby
article
did
on this.
a review and look into her record, and he does talk a lot about the. Sorry, I was just checking the time. He looked at his watch, and I looked at my watch.
It's smartwatch now. It's my pants are like vibrating. It's
Whoa, hang on. Speaking
We're
of
talking
sex,
Beyonce.
speaking of sexy
I mean,
stuff,
I just-
Ross's pants are vibrating.
And I actually my wrist because of it.
Unrelated to the new Beyonce record.
Completely unrelated.
This is disgusting and
God,
upsetting.
it's so wrong.
What were we talking about? Oh yeah, well, so anyhow, but
Trent's review.
Trent made a point that Rihanna and other popular, Miley Cyrus, other popular pop stars have become increasingly sexy. You know, I mean, Lady Gaga, what's her new song? It's "Do What You Want to My Body"
With R. Kelly.
with R. Kelly, and R. Kelly's going to do something to her body that it will be like he'll find a way to do something illegal and inappropriate.
Yes.
But I think you look at the record. I mean, sex sells.
Yeah.
Beyonce is clearly aware that sex sells, and she's extremely beautiful, and why not?
Mm-hmm.
Why not? I'll tell you why not. Have some respect for yourself. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. She's okay. We don't have to
This is going very.
no, but now we're. I love the footage. Keep writing the B-roll. You want to hear me talking about how sexy Beyonce is while we see footage of a scantily clad Beyonce being sexy.
This would be the drunken love video
Wow!
with Jay-Z.
Wow! This is intense. I have not seen all the videos.
This is what $17 gets you.
This is
17
future of the
of those tracks.
Vergecast, actually.
it's just Beyonce video.
Beyonce, and we talk about it while she dances.
But anyhow, did you buy the album?
Not yet.
Lisa did not buy it.
No.
You?
Of course I did.
Yeah.
I mean, I will.
Did both you and Chow buy separate copies? Or
We
you
might
share,
have.
you
I
sharing?
mean, it's iTunes. We need our own accounts, and it's got to
Sure.
work on our phones.
Sure. Can you share this? This is you have you can.
I don't think we have a family account. I don't know how that works, actually.
I guess you can't unless
Yeah.
you're streaming off of a single computer or something.
Right.
Yeah. I have not bought it.
Really?
But I've heard several and seen several videos from it.
All right.
I just, to be honest with you, I need to set aside time to experience all of Beyonce.
Right.
See, I knew that if I did not buy it day one and know it by the end of day one, I would not have a relationship anymore. So that was my.
Is that what happened?
That was my impetus for doing
Is that really what happened?
It just,
is that the kind of
it's a
situation you
threat
got?
thereof,
You
yeah.
need to be
just to be safe.
completely aware of the Beyonce catalog at all times.
Absolutely.
Can we talk about can we talk about a couple of things?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
So first off, can we talk about this ad?
yeah, we've had this. the whole
So
time.
Motorola ran
this
this
will
ad.
save print.
This is a print ad that's running in Wired. It's running in here. Do you want me to?
You got a
Maybe we can
camera.
get it on this
Yeah,
camera.
I think Billy's running in to help us out with this.
All right.
So hold on. I don't know if you guys have seen this. Did we write about this? Did we not write about
We
this?
did. Oh, yeah, we did.
We did. So check it out. This is a print ad that is running. Let me find the best angle. Hold on. Nope, that's not the best angle.
There you
Nope,
go.
that's not the best angle. I'm trying to get the glare off. And also, Billy, oh boy. Okay, anyhow, this is good enough. So this is an ad that's running in Wired and a bunch of other magazines, and it is insane. Okay? Hold on, let me do some other
How
colors
did they
here.
pull this off?
Obviously, there's lights in here.
Yeah, and you can
Well,
actually, if you
yeah.
dude, if you look in the back, you can see the strip of lights right there
Oh, yeah.
shining upwards.
But
I see how
I
they
mean,
do
but
it.
look at
Yeah.
some of these the colors they get out of this is it's kind of insane. And I got to say, it's easily one of the, is this the right color? Hold on. I think we might have broken it a little bit from using it so much.
really like pink.
But this is one of the craziest
there we go.
ads. Like, look at these in particular. Hold on. I mean,
That's pretty good.
it's really weird.
Yeah.
Like, it's incredible that they did this. And I got to say, they might have spent all of the remaining money they had on the budget to advertise this phone on this ad, but it was worth it.
Well, do you remember about 5 years back, the Esquire E-Ink magazine cover that had done some really crazy things too?
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
never went anywhere else.
But also there was the one with the phone in it. Remember there was an ad. It was in.
Oh, yeah.
Who did the ad? It had a phone embedded in the ad, and it could get like text messages.
Yes.
Entertainment Weekly had it. There really is a smartphone inside Entertainment Weekly magazine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know Mashable wrote about it. I
That's
think
it.
we
It was
might
like
have done something.
peak or
Actually, I think
something.
I don't remember if
we
that
must
was
have.
Was that during This Is My Next Days?
October 2012. No, we should have been up and running.
No, we
by then.
were in
No.
existence.
Yeah,
We existed. We launched November 2011.
that's right.
Oh, this is right before
Where
then.
was I?
Okay.
No,
I was
it's
there.
It's a year. It's a year after our launch.
Oh, right. I don't remember.
I mean, we definitely. I'm sure we covered.
We wrote about it.
Anyhow, this is. I gotta say, like, there's really
Wow.
nothing to say about this except that it is awesome. That as far as ads go, print ads, it's like next level.
Yeah. And the bamboo one is available now for $100.
Oh yeah, the bamboo back is available.
It makes me so sad. Like the Moto X sales figures that came out. Like I want this to do so well.
Yeah, it's a good phone.
It's not doing.
It's a good
as
phone.
well
It just
as
it just isn't. It isn't making the kind of splash that I think they hoped it would make. So I also want to talk about another phone. I bought an Xperia Z1 from an unlocked. In case you're wondering, if you're on AT&T, the model number you want to get LTE.
Oh, you've got a okay.
Yeah, is C6906. There's a bunch of variations of the Z1. Anyhow, I bought the Z1 and I'm pretty impressed.
Really?
Wait, this is not the Google Play Edition Z. This
No,
is,
no.
This is the Z1 Ultra, which is
this is
like
the Xperia.
this
This is
big.
the Xperia Z1, and it has some annoying Sony tweaks.
Okay.
But they're relatively minimal, and some of them are actually like improvements on Google.
Like what?
Frankly, so it shows you. It has built-in battery percentage in the the status bar. It has built-in. So the way Google does its quick settings is that there's a secondary drop down that you have to access with 2-finger swipes or a swipe on the right side on tablets. This actually has like quick toggles sort of built into the top row of the. You can see it here.
Those top row quick toggles.
Did you just see my password? Did everybody just see my password?
Yeah, those top row quick toggles are either amazing or terrible.
yeah.
So wait, hold on. Let me clear these. There's no telling what's in there, but you can see that there's at the top of the. So there's that nice little control, and they're actually way more useful than what Google provides.
Just cut to the chase. How's the camera?
The camera's amazing.
Really?
The camera's really good. And like it actually like with a little bit of it has a little bit of a learning curve because it does function more like a real camera. I actually think it's really good, and I'll say that I feel that the photos I'm taking are not only really good, but I think they're better than iPhone.
So when you say take pictures, like,
photos.
wait,
yeah.
when you're saying
I think they're less saturated. I think that like there's a quality to them that's different, but they feel more like camera photos to me.
Is it like a Lumia 1020 situation where you kind of need to know what you're doing in order to get?
I mean,
that?
not as much as the 1020. The 1020 is like weirdly overly complicated and kind of slow, and it doesn't really work. It's not enough like a phone camera. Mm-hmm. This is kind of the right mixture, and I haven't the software's not updated. This is on 4.2, and Evan, who also has one, and
is taking pictures of us right now.
He's taking pictures of us.
Room.
Has he has 4.3. It's been updated, and I guess it's rolling out now.
Okay.
But I got to say, I'm really impressed with the camera. I've been looking for an Android phone that actually has a great camera, and I think that this is maybe the first one where it's like really competitive, if not a bit better than the iPhone. In some instances, in my experience, I've only had it for a few days, so I'm still testing. Here's some other nice things about this that I was surprised to discover, or that I would care about. It's waterproof, which I don't care about at all. Except for the fact that like I was walking around in the snow the other day with this, and I took it out and started using it, and I wasn't like, oh my god, I'm going to get water on my phone, which was kind of nice.
That's something like that most like companies don't worry about. Like I don't have to think about it anymore. Like you didn't have to worry about it when it was in the snow or when it rains. Like, That's
it's the kind of it's actually the kind of thing that is I think I mentioned this when I was like, here's things they could do for the iPhone that would be really cool. The other thing is the battery life is kind of outrageous. In my third day of using it, I had used it for like 15 hours straight, and I had some like long phone calls. I was like really using the phone, and it said that my battery percentage was like 25 or 26% remaining. Wow. So like more than a day, basically, like more than a work day.
That is really
so.
impressive.
Why can't Sony get it right selling these things in the U.S.? Like we reported back in October.
They need an enormous
too much work to market here.
They need an enormous marketing budget. Right. They need an enormous marketing budget, and they need buy-in from all of the carriers in a big way. Here's Samsung's thing. They have enormous marketing budgets, like out of control. I mean, look at how much they're advertising.
Yeah.
It's almost like brute force. They're basically like forcing you to understand that Samsung devices exist, and they have done a lot of. I think carriers see it as an easy win. People now know the Samsung brand. They come in the store, they're like, I want the Galaxy. You know, the only thing stopping, I mean, Motorola is trying to do it with the Moto X. I don't think they have nearly the budget to do it.
No.
Also, I don't think they have the phone. I mean,
They're being creative, but like they're not brute forcing it like Samsung does.
You know, and also Motorola's like they have one device, flagship device. Samsung has the flagship S4, and then 40 other phones, different various sizes and markets, and like
So I think that it just requires. I mean, actually.
I'm sorry, I have to break this train. Is the software skin really good? Because Sony used to be terrible.
I've disabled everything that's like pretty much everything that's Sony specific.
And you can do this user customizer. You're not hacking anything.
I'm not hacking anything.
Okay.
I did install. Evan had the KitKat launcher, which is like the stock launcher.
Okay.
You can get versions of it in the Play Store, but I wanted the like pure one, and he has the actual like pure APK, which you can just install. Like you can just get it, sideload it, and install it. It's not a hack at all. So after going to the KitKat launcher, most of the stuff that's annoying is gone. Okay. There's a couple things like they've reskinned the contacts app and the dialer.
Yeah.
Very minor. Like it's completely inoffensive. Like not an issue. They have this thing on the multitasking menu, which I'm surprised to say I actually think is kind of cool. Okay. They have these like mini apps that float over top of things. They've got like a calculator, a timer, a voice recorder, and a couple of other little things. And I've used them. I will tell you, like, I've opened it up to like open the calculator, and I'm like, oh, there's a calculator right here. I'll just open it up and do the quick calculation and close the thing. So not terribly offensive. They've reskinned menu, like the settings menus are different. They've added some personalization options, like they've made it a little bit harder to for some reason changing your lock screen image. You don't change your background and lock screen image together. You do them as separate things, which seems weird to me. But largely. I mean, at 4.2, what's really surprising to me, and I was just saying to Nilay the other day, what's really surprising is that at 4.2 and I think beyond, the differences are negligible because once you kind of disable the stuff you don't like I'm not going to use the Walkman app for music because I listen to RDO and Spotify and I use Google Play Music. The once you disable that stuff, the fact that Google has basically separated all of its apps out as standalones, Gmail and Google Drive.
Everything.
Now they have this Photos app which ties into Google Plus. I auto upload all my photos.
Do you like the new Photos app?
I don't love it. I don't love it, but what's nice about it is that it feels integrated with the rest of the Google ecosystem.
Yeah. Okay.
So they have an album here that you can't disable. It's like they've replaced the gallery app with their own gallery app.
Okay.
I suppose I could download the stock gallery app. I mean, they have them on the store, but it's fine, but you can plug into Photos using the Google Plus stuff, which I do anyhow. Yeah. So, like, honestly, the feeling is not. I've been using an Nexus 5. I went to this.
I'm still on the Nexus 5. I'm about to switch to the iPhone after my crazy Twitter rant. Like, I can't handle.
There's no dramatic. What's your issue? The camera.
Start
the camera.
No, the Twitter rant. No, I'm like.
About
Twitter,
the app?
Yeah, the Twitter app.
Yeah, one thing this can't fix is how bad the Twitter update is.
Yeah. But like, we did this last week.
But basically, what I'm saying is. It is surprisingly the same for the most part.
Yeah.
I mean, the vast majority of things I'm doing. I mean, I think Google hit a point where the people who are skinning, I mean, this is not Samsung level skinned. Everything does not look different. Right. It's got some stuff that looks different. They made some weird changes I don't really understand. For instance, they have a different icon for the sound off. Like a different...
Well, the stock sound off icon is so ugly.
No, it's completely innocuous.
It's horrible. Of course,
it's totally innocuous.
That would be the first thing I would change.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you joking?
Yes, I'm totally joking.
I couldn't tell if you were kidding or not because I just thought it was weird. Like they changed the home, back, and multitask button. I just don't know why. They're so innocuous and meaningless overall. And like the stuff they added doesn't fit in any better in my opinion. I love this part of the Vergecast when Billy has to turn on this TV again because they went to sleep. Very nice job, Billy.
Thanks,
excellent
Billy.
work. And actually on that note, like I think we have to wrap up because unfortunately we started late and we're ending early because I have to go to a meeting.
There's one thing we need to note though. So next week is Christmas, obviously.
Next week is Xmas.
And the studio is shut down.
Right.
And the week after we're flying out to CES.
CES. Oh
right.
yeah, right.
So this is probably the last.
Is this the last Vergecast of
for
the year?
Studio at least? Yes.
Is it really?
I mean, studio's shut down
What?
next week, and then
Really?
we fly out for CES.
You're saying we don't have a Vergecast between now and CES?
We might.
That doesn't sound
we won't
right
have
to
it
me.
here though. We won't have
Where
it.
would it be?
You could have one on the 2nd for sure.
Where would we be on the 2nd? I don't know. That seems like a long time. Okay, you know what? Let's not get hung up on this. Don't worry about it. We're going to be here for you.
We're not going anywhere.
We are going to CES at the beginning of January. We're going to have an enormous amount of coverage. We have all kinds of crazy stuff planned. We're going to have a bigger, better, nastier studio there, which we're very excited about.
Yes.
And, of course, we're going to be doing a bunch of video shows, but the Vergecast will be one of them. And we'll be doing essentially a week of Vergecasts.
Every day.
Every night, drunkenly Vergecasting for your pleasure.
We promised the drunk part.
Definitely. And it's going to be very exciting. So this is our, actually we should have done something, garland or mistletoe so we could kiss each other or, lower mistletoe.
We could hold the
You know what I mean?
Mac
Lower
Pro.
mistletoe.
The Mac Pro?
Does anybody know what lower mistletoe is?
No.
It's mistletoe for other stuff.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
Somebody in the control room. Who was that speaking?
that would probably be our sound guy, Will. Yeah.
That's right. On your
can't-
junk. They can't hear you, but
Yeah.
junk was mentioned. Anyhow, the point is we were not very festive in here, and that's kind of disappointing.
No.
Okay, so I guess we're wrapping up then.
Yeah.
But CS is coming and more Vergecast. A lot more Vergecast is coming. Unfortunately for you, unlucky people out there in cyberspace.
With
I'm bringing cyberspace back.
more
by the way.
better and happy news.
More better,
More better
and happy news.
and coherent speaking.
More news.
English.
You're saying more happy news.
More happy news.
We
And
make
better-
Good, we make words good, future.
yeah.
Anyhow, that's the Vergecast for this week. And you know what a Vergecast it was. It had its moments.
It was definitely
it
a
didn't.
Vergecast.
It was a Vergecast.
Yes, it was.
I don't think any of us feel like we gave 100% here today, do we? I feel like I was at like 75 maybe.
It's like 4 or 5 days till Christmas.
Yeah, I'm ready to just jam on some eggnog. Okay, get a candy cane out, some lower mistletoe,
I'm going to murder a gingerbread house.
jam on some eggnog, get some Bing
Jelly blood
Crosby.
splattered everywhere.
Get Bing up on my Xbox One. Get some Bing Crosby on the
Wow.
Bing Crosby.
Bang on a Bing Crosby, and then get him going on the stereo system. And get my Santa suit on.
Xbox, jingle my bells.
I think Will just said that. That's the lower mistletoe.
Hockey mask.
Yeah.
Santa suit.
Right.
No bottoms.
Yeah, of course.
Eggnog.
Lower
Yep.
mistletoe.
That's been me for the next week.
There you go.
Photoshop challenge.
Yeah, and that's the Vergecast for this week. As always, you can get in touch with us by sending us an email at vergecast@theverge.com. You can leave a comment in the post when it goes up. You can start a thread on the in our forums. You know what I'm saying. You know what? This week needs to end. You can also find us on Twitter, now publicly traded Twitter. The Verge is at Verge. I'm Joshua Topolsky. I was going to say Neeli. That's how out of it I am. You're not Neeli. No. Dieter is Backlon.
Oh.
Ross is Roscoe, no E on the end.
Correct.
And did I say I'm Joshua Topolsky?
You did.
You did.
There's something wrong.
Rock
And
and
I'm
roll.
not drinking. You guys are drinking.
Rock and roll,
And
yeah.
that's it. And
Paul.
as we go into hold on a second. And as we go into the holidays, as we go into a time for reflecting on what you've done this year and who you've done it to, and your family and your family's well-being, I think we can all agree you've got a lot to worry about.